Hello! So today we're going to be refining and coloring an old drawing of mine, and this is Katie, one of my OCs. So she's actually based off one of my friends in real life. So you can see I already have the pose down that I got from Pinterest, and I'm already doing the line art. Also, I get a lot of my poses from Pinterest because, Pinterest is, a wonderful app. As long as they don't give it over to OpenAI. Please don't do that. Please, please, please do not do that. Katie's character is a little bit more awkward and, anxious, kind of like every other teenager. So you're going to see me draw the lower lines on the eyes, but I'm going to later erase those because I think they look goofy. This is me adjusting the eye because the eyes should be one eye apart. Now we're drawing the hands, which I actually found surprisingly easy this time, probably because I just had to trace what my older self did, and my older self probably just copied it from Pinterest, so I probably didn't have to do anything. I don't normally draw the knees, so I don't know if that looks good or not. I still can't decide. Also, if you're wondering why I chose this outfit for her, it's because she lives in California and it's always super hot there. So I originally wanted to change her outfit and make it more elaborate, but then I realized that she lives in California and making her outfit more elaborate in my version of it would mean giving her long sleeves, and she can't really wear long sleeves in California. So now we're moving on to the second drawing. This one is, I think, really cute. It's kind of like flowery. It's just a little smile. I love this one. I think this one shows her personality the most. My hands were super shaky when I was drawing this. I'm not entirely sure why, but a lot of these lines I had to draw and redraw over and over because my hands were so shaky. So now I'm going to adjust the size of the head because the eyes are halfway, through the head. So I realized that the forehead was too big. So I just had to adjust that real quick. Here I'm just adding some last minute details and figuring out what I want to do. And then I move on to the third sketch. This last sketch is kind of like a glamour shot, I guess. I don't know, but I love this one as well. I love all of these poses. I got these poses from Pinterest. Pinterest, my beloved. Pinterest. I use Pinterest all the time. I really hope it doesn't get, taken over by AI like everything else has in my life. See, for the eyes here, I didn't draw the bottom line, and I realized that I like that more, and so I went back to adjust the eyes later. And so now, now I'm adjusting the eyes. And then the line art is almost done. I just have to add some last minute details. And then I have to erase the original sketch, and the line art is done. Now we have to move on to coloring. I normally start with the skin while I color, and this drawing was no different. I decided to color all the drawings all at once instead of just coloring them one by one. I felt like it would be easier to just color them like all at once because I already had the colors picked out. For that arm, I was going to do a fade out, but then I just decided to do a cutoff. Coloring in the ears, which I almost forgot. And then coloring in the other arm, which for some reason was deleted. So now that we're done filling in the base color for the skin, now we're moving on to the shading. I always use a blue for the shading of the skin. For this one, I didn't use too many colors like I normally do, simply because I just didn't want to. And sometimes simplicity is better, so I decided to just use blue when shading and rendering. Well, mostly blue. You're gonna see me here in a second using more colors, but not very many. I try not to use too many colors in this drawing. I added a bunch of highlights for her to look well illuminated. I do not know if I actually, achieved what I intended. Now I added some blush to the face simply to give her some life. And then I added more highlights. Then I moved on to coloring the hair. So, here in a second, you're gonna see me instinctively choose brown and then go back to blonde. This is because I draw dark-haired characters a lot and it was just out of force of habit. But Katie is blonde to her core, so now I start adding in some shadows and just some, depth. I originally did it on the wrong layer, so, that sucks because we've all been through that. Then we add some highlights, even though you can barely see them because her hair is so light. Now we move on to coloring the clothes. So if you're wondering, Katie is athletic. That's why she's wearing athletic clothing. She plays softball, so. But anyway, I got a bit lazy with the shading on the clothes, and that's simply because, I'm always, a lazy artist. Lazy artists get far in life because, they conserve their energy. But it wasn't too bad. I just didn't add as many highlights as I should have to match the rest of the drawing. Now we're moving on to the background. I decided to add some, just like expression lines, I guess. That's what you would call them. I saw it in like a YouTube short once, and I think it looked pretty good. But it still did look a little empty with the white background, so I went in and added some airbrush to the background of just a lighter or darker version of the color that is added. Then I went in and colored the eyes because I realized I forgot. Colored the teeth because I also forgot that. And then I colored in the whites of the eyes, which I had forgotten until the absolute last minute, and I had to draw it on top of the layer. So I had to draw on top of the line art. So that really did not work out well in my favor. Now we're gonna add some slight shading to the whites of the eyes, and then we're just adding in our signature / watermark so that no one will just take it right off the bat. And then we add in some highlights to the eyes. And then that is the finished product.